All right, starting in 5. And it appears we're live. Greetings and salvations. I'm Moomthoff Neverborn, the abyss that slumbers, and this is Eldritch Rants. We're just going to get into things today. We're going to skip the usual long intro. We got Farty here, and we got Mad Dodge, and everybody else is busy with crap. So, how you guys doing?
Pretty good. Dodgers are beating the Giants. Go Dodgers.
That's like some sort of sports team, right?
Yeah, some sort of, Major League Baseball team. National League, if you even know what that is.
Is that them games that them Negroes play, them foosball?
They hit the ball across the plate and it goes through the moving goalposts or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, stickball.
Do you think they'll go all the way and win the thing this year, the big trophy that signifies they're better than everybody else, and thus vicariously an entire city will feel love because of it?
Well, they made it to the what you're calling the big thing. That would be the World Series. They made it there last year and lost to the Astros, and I've hated Houston ever since. So I hope.
So they're kind of like Buffalo, huh? Tripping at the finish line? Gotcha.
Yay, go team.
Yeah, go local team. Any rate, shall I start the story? Do you want to do the rant first, Farty?
Nah, start the story. Yeah, start the story.
All right, Australian supermarket giant says yes to mass nude photograph. 11,000 Australians got naked on top of a parking garage roof, and they took a picture of it.
Don't get all excited.
That's it.
Don't get all excited, boys and girls, because I guarantee you it's going to be the 11,000 Australians you really don't want to see naked. For the best I can figure, they're doing this for shits and giggles. It's not a promotional thing for the shop. Usually when people do this, like we actually do have a bit of a culture with the old ladies associations and the country women's associations and all that. Sometimes they'll get in the nude and they'll make a calendar and they'll sell the calendar off and, raise funds for their local fire station or build a new road or fucking whatever. It doesn't even look like it's that, though. It just looks like some dude just wanted to take a picture of 11,000 really horrific looking people.
I believe he's hoping that people will tune into the Provo Care Art Festival because of this.
Well, see, now this brings me on to the point that I was going to segue onto, which is it doesn't matter anyway because this isn't actually happening. 11,000 people aren't going to Melbourne because Melbourne doesn't actually exist. Neither does this country. And in fact, I'll just come clean with you all. Australia doesn't exist. It's been a conspiracy by the British government for centuries just so as they could dump criminals out in the middle of the ocean and drown them and not look like fuckwits for it. But everyone that you speak to who has an Australian accent and claims that they're an Australian is a paid actor, only here to fuck with the conspiracy theorists' minds.
I can buy that.
So
what's that German city that Baileyburg? Baileyburg doesn't exist.
Yeah. So I'm not here. I'm not talking. I don't know what you guys are sitting here listening to white noise for because I'm a figment of everyone's imagination. Apparently.
Been a rough week, huh?
I'm going to try that on the magistrate the next time I fucking get hauled up in front of the cunt. I'm going to go, you know what, you can't do diddly shit because there's people in other countries who are supposed to be smarter than us that say that we don't exist and we're actually a conspiracy to fuck with other people's heads. So you can't even charge me for bloody spitting on the ground. Fuck off.
Are there people who don't think Australia exists? I mean, I know there's flat earthers, but...
Yeah. I've just been made aware that there is an actual conspiracy movement out there that denies the fact that Australia and New Zealand exist and that, it's a conspiracy by the British government so as they can cover up murdering millions of fucking criminals.
Explain the kangaroos then.
Oh, no, they're made up too.
Yeah, how could a platypus actually exist?
Yeah. Shit, Dodge, what do you think? Fucking cute and cuddly koala bears with giant vicious teeth and fucking like animals that bounce along the ground. What fucking drugs do you like? Fuck, who's fucking believing that bullshit?
Good point. I have done acid before. Huh. I guess Australia don't exist. Fuck it.
Oh, well, I'm out of a job now. I've gone and let the cat out of the bag.
Well, speaking of places that don't exist, California, they're trying to stop it from existing.
Oh, no. There's already 3 parts of California already. There is already a 3-state thing with that. There's Los Angeles, San Francisco, and the rest of it.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. I mean, and I'll be honest there, I think it should be broken up. Not just because I don't like California, but because it is 3 different states. It is. Because I've driven through it. When you're going through the city, it's entirely different than when you're going through Napa Valley, than when you're going through the desert. People have such different attitudes. It's like 3 different countries. It really is.
I didn't know where the hell I was in Los Angeles because I couldn't see shit from all the smog.
That's just the fog. But yeah, the fog was everywhere. The fog was everywhere when I was there.
Yeah, I was coming into LAX and I was thinking, Jesus Christ, this is a weird looking cloud formation. Why is it fucking brown? Oh, it's smog.
Any rate, any thoughts on divvying up California since you're on the West Coast, Mad Dodge?
Well, I like the idea of Cascadia. A secessionist movement to separate the Cascade mountain range away from Oregon and Washington and create its own state, because we could be fairly self-sufficient where I live. And the idea in New California is a good one. The idea they have for this solution is false. It's not going to work. One, it will never get. Last time they tried to do this was in the 90s, and it went to the California Ethics Department and got killed. They just killed it there. They were saying it was unethical to split up the state. They don't have the type of mentality like, let's say, Texas does, where they're okay for secession. So this whole idea of separating California goes against their leftist ideals to begin with.
I could have sworn they were trying to secede from the Union, but I guess seceding from the rest of the state isn't a good idea.
Yeah, they want to split the state into 3 different states. San Francisco would be North California, LA and San Diego and all that would be Southern California, and then everything like Sacramento and everything would just be California. It's a really dumb idea in the way they even split it up. It's blue, blue, and more blue. So the people that are mad, the rural communities that are sick of the oppression from the Democrat majority, they're not even being separated. They're stuck in the San Francisco district. Good luck. You're fucked.
I see what you're saying here. I thought I saw a different map before. They're not talking about the same thing.
Yeah, this bill is totally different than the New California movement. Yeah.
They're just trying to get 4 more senators. That's what they're doing.
Yep. Yeah, it's a leftist ploy to get more representation, which they would in this type of situation.
Gotcha. Alrighty, well, moving on to the next one. This one kind of stunned me when I saw it. It was from the Wall Street Journal, and it was, "Climate change has run its course." I mean, I would not expect the Wall Street Journal to freaking throw their hands up in the air and surrender, but basically they did. And I mean, it's not like there is no climate change. They're just saying nobody freaking cares anymore ever since we allowed identity politics into climate change. And they quote how climate change, reducing carbon emissions must be done in a way that supports women's rights. I can see their point. Basically, they're saying social justice warriors destroyed the environmental movement. Any thoughts on that?
I think it's actually correct. That's amazing to me. I'm just going to take a second here and sip my beer and reflect upon that.
Well, I wouldn't mind all of these green initiatives so much if they were actually doing something with the money. I mean, like, hey, make us pay a carbon tax for a little bit. Okay, what did you actually spend that money on? Nothing that's got anything to do with what you said it was? Well, stick it up your ass. I'm keeping on driving my V8 Land Rover. Fuck you.
Well, no. I'll sell you carbon credits, and I'll grow a tree right here in beautiful Oregon, right here in the beautiful Cascades, where there's so many trees you can't even count them. So why do we really need them anyway? But hey, give me a little bit of money, and I'll plant a tree in your honor, Farty. It'll be great.
I'd rather keep the tree and then not plant. I'll keep the money, not plant the tree, and then spend the money on beer.
Fair enough. Can you donate to my Patreon? That way I can have beer too.
See, that's the problem that I have with the whole carbon tax thing, is that in every incident where you've got Democrats trying to protect the environment, they just wind up embezzling the money and shit. Look what happened, and that's what happened in New Orleans. That's why there was the flooding. The levee should have held if you look at the maintenance schedule. But it turns out the maintenance schedule was pure fiction. They didn't spend any of the money on actually maintaining the levees, and that's why they burst. The levee should have held just fine.
Yeah, actually, now you mention it, the Labor Party did actually do one thing, which was a green initiative. They had this thing called the Pink Bats Initiative, and basically a pink bat or a pink batten is a fucking glass fiber fucking insulating sort of quilt kind of shit you stick in your roof. Now, the government went and threw fucking money at that like crazy, and cunts were coming in, built, pop-up fucking installation fucking mobs were popping up fucking left, right, and center. No one was regulating it. No one was checking their work, and these bastards were fucking putting this flammable Chinese insulation over electrical fucking conduits and over light fixtures and stuff like that. And sure as shit, places started catching fire, and a couple of cunts got burnt. And a couple of cunts died. And there's a big inquiry over it, which both our two former prime ministers are actually going to have to fucking speak at this sometime soon, because they're running out of excuses to get out of it. That's Gillard and Rudd, by the way. So that's what happens when they do actually try and do something like that. They fuck it up. They waste all the money, let it get wasted and embezzled and fucking pissed against the wall, and no fucking guarantees or securities in the practices or anything like that. So of course cunts get hurt and die. Oh, there was also too with the installation itself. The companies themselves weren't regulated to the stage that even employees of these companies were getting fucking hurt in a massive rate.
That seems to be the case. I mean, and just about every one of these, environmental initiatives, eventually it just winds up to be corruption and people stealing money. It's why, even if you could prove to me that climate change existed 100% definitively, I don't know if I would trust these people to actually fix the problem. The actual truth is, when it comes to actually maintaining the environment, conservatives who deny climate change do more for the environment than the liberals in America. It's bizarre.
Yep, same idea.
Talking is enough for a liberal. Conservatives actually go out and do something.
I don't think it's really bizarre at all, in my opinion, because when you look at what a conservative position on, let's say, climate change or even social welfare programs, their position is not that we shouldn't have them. Their position is the government shouldn't do them. The private charity should. And if you look at who donates to private charities, it is by far more conservatives, and I would also add libertarians, who donate to these private organizations to help people.
Hey Ben, how's it going? Anyway, I agree with you 100% here. I don't think we need to mull this over too much more, but I just find it interesting that the Wall Street Journal is willing to admit it. I think we're starting to see that finally reality is starting to sink in on some level to these big media conglomerates who are suddenly going, hey, social justice warrior doesn't make money. I don't know. We're losing jobs and we're hemorrhaging, cash. Maybe this isn't a good plan, but we've got another article about that later.
Oh, it is the same Ben. It's my favorite troll. Hi, Ben. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, he's going on about how capitalism is unsustainable.
It's evil. Yes, he's my favorite troll. Please don't ban him. I don't know why.
Oh, no. I got no problem with it. I just wish he'd go slower so it'd be easier to read what he's typing.
I swear, every stream I go to now, he's there. Like, this is some kind of weird troll, but he's cool. He's harmless.
I don't think you understand what capitalism is. Of course, everything is unsustainable. Period. End of statement. Nothing can be sustained forever because we live in a finite universe. The very proof of the matter is that there was an infinite amount of anything, it would create gravitational collapse and the universe would become a black hole. The universe itself has to be finite because if it truly was infinite, it would be a black hole. It can't be anything else. That is the definition of what infinity is. It can be really, really big, but there are no infinities. Since there are no infinities, everything is unsustainable eventually. So... right there, you got having a problem, dude. Anyway, moving on.
Wait, who's Dave?
I'm not sure. Maybe he's got multiple accounts, assuming I'm going to ban one. I actually don't mind it. I may go back and read this later. Fortunately, it's being recorded straight to the stream.
I used to have twoofers do that to me. They'd get a couple of different accounts and then they'd start frantically making comments on several videos at the same time with several different accounts.
Ben, dude, I'm not gonna ban you, man. I'd love to talk with you, but you're just going too fast here. If you slow down and let me respond to some of your points, we'd have a conversation. But no, keep scrolling. That's pretty cool stuff, actually. I want to read this later. Anyway, let's get back
and also just for ease sake, Ben, just use the one fucking name, man.
Anyway, Czech president torches Underpants, stuns journalists. A fiery stunt by the Czech president has really stunned journalists this time. Milos Zeman announced a press conference for Thursday, but instead of briefing reporters, he had two firefighters in protective gear burn a huge pair of red underpants in front of them.
Yeah.
It's
a political statement.
Just wow. I like this guy. That's like, I'm going to start off by burning clothes.
No, it was more to I'm pretty sure it was the bloke that this guy's replacing. He had close ties to Russia and China, and he's basically saying, "Look at this communist cocksucker."
Wow. Although, he seems to have had a point here, judging by what he was burning the underwear for, because because it was meant to symbolize Russia and China. But yeah, I wish I had more background on this because it sounds like it might be funny. But that's guts. You don't see a lot of leaders these days willing to burn underwear in front of a bunch of reporters. Any other thoughts before moving on?
Yeah, it symbolized both Russia and China simultaneously. Was that because there was a shit stain in the underwear, and that represented one or the other?
No, the shit stain's Korea.
Oh yeah, that'd be the yeah. He's back, friends and ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, whilst we're on that page and all this, it's got to be said that she's copped a heap of shit. But that Sarah Huckabee Sheila, God, she's a fucking ugly looking woman.
Florida man chugged a can of beer during DUI stop. I love you, Florida man. Florida man, he's not only the hero we deserve, but the hero we have. Oh my God.
No, this guy's got to be an Australian refugee.
No, this is Daryl Royal Riddell, who, after being pulled over, quickly chugged a can of beer. I could see him chugging the can of beer right there at the stop and holding up a pinky as if, hold on a second, I want to finish my beer here. I love it. He gets out of his truck, beer can in hand, and goes glug 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 glug. Yeah, what you want, officer? Awesome, man. This guy is awesome.
Well, the alternative would have been he got out of his truck and went to give the cop the beer and said, "Here, hold my beer."
Oh, I gotta take care of this. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna be a few minutes.
Nah, but this guy has to be an Aussie. He's got to be a closet Aussie for the simple reason, this is the kind of story that you'd hear from an Aussie. Bloke I used to know, Ryan Miner, during a double demerit points weekend, he got pinged by the coppers doing 5 kilometres over the speed limit. And as soon as the cops got to his window, he said, "You're a bunch of fucking idiots." And the cop goes, "What for?" And Ryan says back to him, If you dumb cunts had waited 10 more fucking seconds, you would have got me doing twice that fucking speed, you idiot.
That's pretty good. But no. In all fucking seriousness, okay, I would not drive drunk because that's stupid. But if I was driving drunk and I was pulled over and I got the beer in my motherfucking hand, what are they going to have you do? Dump the beer out and then they're going to arrest you for a DUI. Why not drink the fucking beer? Dude, fucking might as well.
Yep, you're already, when they stick you on the breathalyzer, you're already fucked, so, well, what's the point?
Yeah, get her done. I mean, you're going to spend the night in jail and then you're going to have to go to court and do fucking diversion and everything else and pay them a shitload of money. Why not? Might as well down the fucking beer.
Yeah, no, but don't drink and drive. Smoke dope, eat soap, and float home in a bubble.
There you go. That works. Just don't be a chicken fucker, boys and girls. That is very bad for you. Speaking of chicken fucking, Voice of One, hello. How are you today?
Cunt.
It was a joke, bro.
Oh, the Voice of One's lost his voice.
Any rate, back. Sorry about that. Hey, Voice of One, how's it going, man?
Hello, sir. Thank you for inviting me to your den of iniquity once again.
Woot. Any rate, I think we've talked about Florida Man enough. Shall we move on?
Well, as long as I can drink a beer as we move on. Kind of like Florida Man.
I'm sure. Despite Supreme Court ruling, voting is still not a use it or lose it right. Now, I'm not sure if you guys heard about this, but they have, I think it's in Ohio. Let me double check. Yeah, it's in Ohio. They have this rule that if you don't vote, you get removed from the voter registration law. You got to vote at least once every 2 elections. And if you don't, they send you a card and say, hey, do you still live here? Because if you don't, we're taking you out the voter rolls. And some guy said, I never got the card. And he chose not to vote twice. He knew he could, but he chose not to. So the third time, when he went in, they said, you're not registered. So, long story short, long lawsuit later, the Supreme Court said, nope, they sent you a card. That's good enough. They're not just automatically purging you. They sent you a card to ask if you're still there. And so that makes it constitutional. And, of course, the ACLU is flipping out because, hey, we're actually removing people from the voter rolls when they're dead and stuff like that. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, actually. At first, I thought your premise was going to be that it was bad that they stripped it, that, you agreed with the petitioner. No, if you have the right to vote, you need to vote. I fill out my registration. I get my ballot. We had a special election recently with nobody that I could vote for on the ballot, so I didn't vote. But I got it, and I, just didn't vote. But I vote every fucking actual election, every presidential election and every midterms and all that stuff. So, I won't be purged in that type of rule. We don't have that rule here in Oregon. You have a certain amount of years. I think every 3 years you have to re-register to vote, something like that.
I have a problem with it being 2. I would have gone with 3 because a lot of people skip the midterms, so I would have said you have to vote, you have to skip 3 and then you get removed. I mean, that's giving somebody 6 years. I mean, come on. But that's the only real issue I have with this is that I think it was a little too strict. Like they should have sent it out to 3, over a 6-year period, not a 4-year period. But other than that, no, I agree with this 100% that you should get removed because people are lazy. And here in my local neck of the woods, Central New York, I checked it out. On our midterms, not the one coming up, but I think like 2 midterms back, I forget the exact year, I went and tracked it down. We only had 24% voter turnout. That means every person voting was effectively voting for 3 other people. Your vote was 4 votes here in Central New York. Think how powerful that is. Think how powerful that is. You're not just one person. You're 4 people here in Central New York when you actually vote. Like that was my point that we tried, but that didn't really catch on. But my point was your vote is 4 votes here in Central New York.
Well, I could increase the amount of voters because I would say that if you are a registered voter and you do not vote, you will be shot
I don't know if that sort of extreme methodology will work. I would go with you don't get a tax break.
Hang on. Just remember, boys and girls, with the election with Trump and Hillary, you remember yours truly here was asked by fucking the New York Electoral Office whether I was going to vote.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Wow. That's right. They were so... They even got Farty for trying to vote for Hillary. I love that. And you're in Germany. No, wait. Australia. Australia. Big difference.
Germany. You Merkel lover, Farty.
Yeah, no. I just put a post up on Facebook when I got that, and I just said, well, if Hillary wins, we know what's going on.
Oh, well, any more thoughts about this? Because I think purging the voter rolls is really important, especially when you look at the massive corruption that was going on in Chicago. I love how they say there's been no proof on state level that there has been any voter fraud. Yes. On a state level, you might be right, but on city levels, it's all over the place. Okay, county level, oh yeah, we got plenty of examples of voter fraud. State level, that one's hard to pin down. But everything else, yeah. No, I'm sorry. There's a lot of voter fraud. It just hasn't made it to the federal level, okay?
It kind of reminds me of a meme, and this is one of the very, very first ones before memes were a meme. So old I am. It basically was just a picture of George W. and the caption simply read, "Next time you'll vote, won't you, hippie?"
You want to know something? That same attitude comes up over and over and over again. Every time your person loses and one side says something similar to that, it doesn't work here in America. People just don't care. Yeah. In fact, in a lot of the rioters, when they were arresting people, they found that usually out of the people who were rioting that, oh no, Trump won and stuff, only about a third of them actually voted. That's pretty typical. Anyway, moving on here. Exhausting ordeal. Woman gets head stuck in tailpipe.
Yeah, the dumb bitch got confused. It sucked the chrome off a trailer hitch, not suck start a F-350, you dumb bitch.
Yeah, apparently she was at a Minnesota Music Festival, and for some reason at the Windsock Music Festival in Windsid, she stuck her head in a truck's oversized tailpipe.
I know what the actual reason was. And no, this is no bullshit. I've actually seen this story before. And her rationale for sticking her head in the exhaust pipe was she was walking past the truck and cocked her head sort of funny and went, "Geez, that's a big exhaust pipe. I wonder if I can stick my head inside of that." That is exactly how it went down.
I imagine that is the case. Wow.
And that's from the horse's mouth too. That's what she said. Literally.
Well, it's good that she can admit her own stupidity,
Well, to be fair, everybody's seen those pictures of the dude with his head up the elephant's ass. I mean, maybe that's kind of the same thing.
Oh, well, I don't know whether it's the exact same photo I'm thinking of, but I've seen a bit of film footage where the dude ended up with his head up the elephant's ass, and it kind of wasn't his fault.
Well,
By the way, I think you'll like this one, Farty. Firefighters break windows of car blocking hydrant so that they can feed the hose through the car to put out a fire in New Jersey.
Now, yeah, I know this happens a hell of a lot in America because, it's a pretty common fucking thing. And, it's standard operating procedure in America. Yep, you park in front of a hydrant, they'll just smash your windows, run the hose straight through the car. And if the hose leaks and your car fills with water, well, that's your stiff shit for sitting in front of a hydrant now, isn't it?
I got no problem with that at all.
We don't really have that.
Somebody's life is at risk because you decided you needed a parking space, you asshole.
Yeah, we don't really have that luxury out here, but we've also got different sort of setups with our hydrants and all that stuff. We kind of have the luxury of going around vehicles, and it's not that much of a drama. But I've always wanted to do this too.
Any other comments before moving on?
Quick question. What's your stance on busting the windows out to save an animal in a car, whether you know it's hot or not? Like, let's say you don't really know. Like, the person just parked there, ran in to pay for their gas, and runs back out.
My position is you've got a cell phone probably. Call 911, stand by the car, and talk to the 911 operator. And if the dog is like, looks like it's about to die, then you go to the 911 operator and say, the dog looks like it's about to die, and get the 911 operator to say, you know what? Do what you need to do, okay? Because if you just decide out of the blue, I'm just going to smash this window, because we've had that happen here in Syracuse, where somebody saw a dog in a car and smashed out the windows to save it. The guy was literally parked on the side of the road, walked in, and was walking out to see his windows getting smashed. Like, people react way too quickly when this comes up. That's my problem.
Thank
Well,
you.
if it's a situation like that where he's like, you know, it's obvious he's just going in to pay for his fuel or something like that. Well, then it would depend on the situation. I mean, if it's in a gigantic car park in a gigantic mall, and you know, there's a couple of concerned people standing around the car already, that'd sort of give you an indication something's already gone on for a certain amount of time. And then you have to consider in Australia, especially in the summertime, in the car, it only takes a couple of minutes out here. So yeah, you kind of don't fuck around with that shit in this place.
Well, my thing is, I live here in Oregon, and I've got into arguments over this issue, because that's breaking somebody's private property. And with how quiet some cars are nowadays, you don't know if an AC is running. You really fucking don't. And what if somebody did run in and just pay for gas, or, you know, forgot, you know, I don't know, they forgot the money in the car, but you were sitting out in the car with the dog. You have to run in and give your wife the fucking wallet. And some asshole's a hippie in fucking Eugene just is like, oh my God, there's a dog in a car, and smashes your fucking window. No, you don't break somebody's private property. I would beat the fuck out of somebody.
We had a great one out here. I remember this one now, where a person did that whole thing and they didn't check to see that the door was unlocked. Like, the guy had literally left his keys in the car when he got out to go inside, so they could have just opened the door. Instead, this guy comes along and goes, oh my God, there's a dog trapped in there, and then, like, almost immediately smashed it open.
Yeah, well, also, having said that too, there are other ways to get into a vehicle other than smashing a window. I mean, yeah, you can do other forcible entry tactics, like, you know, popping the lock or something like that.
Well, all of that, though, is illegal. And the thing is, I've had that happen where we ran into the store to buy diapers. We were literally in there 5 minutes, and it was only like 70 degrees, and we left our dog in the car, and we had the window cracked open. We came back.
That's all right.
We came back with a little note on the car, a little card saying, you locked your dog in here, and here's the heat index. And it pretty much said, next time we'll smash your fucking window. And yeah, fuck you, and leave my fucking car alone.
Well, if there's if they've left a kid in the back seat, yeah, you know, you'd forcible entry in a situation like that. But if they're at a service station, it's going to be pretty obvious if they're just gone in to pay for fuel. So I've actually done a couple of these types of jobs before with like lockouts in car parks and shit like that, and they do progress fairly slowly. You usually do get a fair amount of time to try and figure shit out, unless you're a fucking complete retard who just acts before thinking, which is probably what those dickheads who left that card on your car was. Those types of people. Well,
at any rate on this, before moving on, anything else?
No, that's it. I just wanted to hear your stance on that. I was really curious.
Okay, well, moving on here, I want to talk about Gab. These guys, I'm liking these guys more and more. Gab, Mike drops UK authorities, refuses to kowtow to censorship. Basically, some victim in the UK, like, pressed charges against some individual, and that individual is found guilty of 3 charges of publishing grossly offensive material. Much of the material could be found on Gab. So, said victim sent an email to Gab saying, remove this information from Gab because she's a criminal. Whereupon Gab responded, hi, we are a US-based corporation that respects free expression for everybody around the world. To be frank, we really don't care about the UK's dystopian nonsense. We will not be terminating the account because the account has not broken our guidelines or US law. Hope this doesn't offend you. Kissy face. Response, dystopian nonsense? Seriously? The woman is a convicted criminal. Would you like me to get the Crown Prosecution Service or the police to contact you? Is that how you speak to victims of crime? Response, once again, we are a U.S. corporation. The U.S. police can't make us do shit, and we will tell them the exact same thing. Being offended by words on the internet doesn't make you a, quote, victim, unquote. It makes you a pathetic person. Have a wonderful day. I now love Gab.
Hey, first, okay, I've got a couple of questions. First off, what the fuck is the Gab? Secondly, hang on, who the fuck is talking to the Gab? Because are they supposed to be the police or fucking what? And how in the fuck are the cops now stating that they're the fucking victims?
Oh, no. Let me explain. Gab AI is an internet service that wants to compete with Twitter. They're not doing too good, but you know what? With this sort of attitude, I can see where they're going to get their audience from. The woman in question who is contacting Gab is the so-called victim of some other woman who was convicted of 3 counts in the UK of offensive speech. What does that mean?
Oh, she's a nobody, so she can go fuck herself right in the ass.
Right. And she said, shall I have the police contact you? Now, I think she wanted to have the police contact Gab in order to tell them, yes, indeed, the person was convicted and it was a criminal. And she doesn't understand that being a criminal in another country does not mean you're a criminal in the U.S. And that being said, I think in some way she was trying to threaten Gab, because in the UK, the police will come after you for, shit talking. And she's like all offended at what was going on. So that's why I like Gab, because this was from their official account. This is from Gab AI. No, really. This is the company's official position of saying, you can't make us do shit. So I appreciate a company that has the balls to be that blunt. Any thoughts on this?
Okay. Now the most obvious question now has to be asked. What was the material that this fucking fuckstick found so offensive?
That we do not know.
I'll bet you $10 it wasn't offensive at all.
Probably.
I would say you're probably right. And if you want my opinion on Gab, I have an account. They have the new Gab streaming service, and I really want to figure that out. But
they do live streaming on Gab now.
Yeah, Gab TV.
Well, I may finally have found a refuge for when YouTube finally closes us down. I am going to have to figure out how to use that.
Yeah, no, and also actually, since we kind of run the topic of alt tech, BitChute is getting better actually, and I just started my BitChute account, and all you do is you have a YouTube key, and you enter that into BitChute, and every time you upload anything on YouTube, it gets copied to BitChute, so it's right there on your BitChute account too immediately, and it's been working for my live streams also. I heard that's kind of buggy, but I like it so far. I'm really kind of falling for BitChute.
You know what? Because I've been thinking we're going to have to abandon YouTube eventually. It's only a matter of time. I mean, given everything that we've been seeing. So, yeah, I appreciate knowing about Gab, because I cannot find a streaming service that will keep my video indefinitely. I mean, I can go to Twitch, but Twitch deletes after 15 days. So that's pretty useless.
What's VidMe like? I know like Jacqueline Glenn. I follow her. She uses VidMe, or not VidMe. It's a different one. It's YouNow. YouNow is what it is. VidMe
never heard of that one. No, haven't heard that one.
Just kind of waiting to see whether
it isn't that
the waves settle.
Here's my position. By the way, Jacob, here's my position on Gabs. We're already a nobody channel. Okay, we've got like maybe what we've got you, Jacob, and Ben the Troll. So, hey, by the way, thanks for stopping by, Ben the Troll. And that's about it. So if we go to Gab and there's not a lot of people there, we're getting it on the ground floor. If it takes off, we'll have been there since the beginning. So, yeah, I'm kind of willing to go to a nowhere place and, stick it out and shout into the ether. And then, because right now, as it stands, the algorithms are punishing you on YouTube. They're totally punishing you.
Well, they are. I've hovered at 1,079 even since I've gotten my streaming back on my main channel, which my backup channel went from 0 to 60 something over 3 months. So I was gaining traction there, but not my main channel where I'm over 1K. I'm kind of confused here. That's why I'm going to expand and go into different outlets like entertainment, TV, shows and stuff also, and still do my politics. But you're right when it comes to YouTube. Absolutely. And
I think that the faster everybody gets off, the better, because YouTube, it's going to become the MySpace of videos eventually. I mean, they've got a lot of big names there, but eventually those big names are going to go, there's greener pastures elsewhere and people are going to pay me what I'm worth. And YouTube, the only reason it's staying open is because it's getting so much in subsidies. It's not funny. Anyway, shall we move on?
Yeah, I guess. I like this topic, though, especially since lately I've been thinking about revamping my channel a little bit. So this is a good topic, but yeah, it's your show. Move on, sir.
Okay, hold on 1 sec. Here we are. Japan's stylish-looking trash-collecting samurai. They have that stick where you poke garbage and then you can put it in a bag. Well, they got guys wearing fedoras dressed up like samurais going around stabbing trash with their swords to pick up the trash.
Is that what the atheist YouTubers have been doing lately? I'm kidding. I've been making friends with some of them. That was a joke.
Oh, yeah, but they do got the fedoras going on.
That's why I made the joke, the fedoras. That's...
It looks like they're wearing bathrobes. Oh, well. I just thought that was weird.
I'm wondering if they're doing it for the psychological effect of, don't fucking litter or these cunts will chop your hands off.
I didn't think anybody littered in Japan.
Since when do Japanese people wear fucking fedoras, though? I mean, when did this
happen? It means something different over there. Fedora, you don't wear sunglasses in Japan, and you don't wear fedoras. Because they think you're in the organized crime. Only organized crime people wear sunglasses, and only mobsters wear the hats. So they're basically saying we're the trash picking mafia.
Dude, they would hate me. I'd show up there with my fucking Dodger hat on and some fucking Dodger shades. They're like, "Oh, this guy's here for some mafia contact." No, motherfucker, I just like baseball.
Anyway, you're going to like this one. Fashion chief executive who was attacked by 6-foot Northern Line tube passenger slams 2 white middle-class men after they walked into the next carriage and left her to defend herself. Basically, what happened is this woman was attacked and the 2 other men on the, London Underground got up and left. One, the reason why they didn't come to save you is because you're old and ugly. And 2, men are getting increasingly worried about, if they go and help somebody, are they going to be called toxic masculine? You spend how long stripping, the dignity out of every man you can get a hold of, and then you wonder why, oh, wow, when I'm being attacked, the men don't come to save me. And so she's really pissed off at these 2 guys who called you cowards with less empathy and strength than 2 size 8 women in a group. Come on, seriously.
No. This is bullshit. I just had a bit of a glance over it, and it's a carbon copy of a whole bunch of these. Oh, I'm a poor little defenseless woman. Oh, and I was in such a circumstance, and then some of them have smarter fucking funny endings to them that you absolutely positively know never fucking happened. And then you got situations like this, which I'll put a bet on it's fucking made up. Oh, that poor little defenseless woman with a child on a tube train, that she was attacked for no fucking reason except the kid was crying, and this dude decided he was going to go and take umbrage against her instead of just moving to the next carriage. No, sorry, that's not really flying.
See, the problem is if she's making up this story just to get attention or to make a point where it's white middle-class men aren't stepping up to their responsibility, go fuck yourself. Sorry.
You're right.
That's why I can actually believe this one. Because if it had been the same situation, it'd be like, I'm not getting involved. I'm sorry. At this point, I just don't care. I'm worried about numero uno and my own family, and you can go screw yourself. You wanted to be treated like an equal. Guess what? Men are treated like shit. Welcome to man's world. Any thoughts before moving on?
Yeah, if this happened in America and I was there and I was carrying a concealed weapon, I would have pulled the weapon and made it stop. But then she would have been freaked out because, oh my God, he had a gun and he was on the fucking subway right next to me the whole time. So I don't even know if I would have necessarily done that, but that would have made it stop immediately. Or if she was carrying a gun. This is why gun control or knife control in Great Britain is fucking retarded.
How many fucking 6-foot slopeheads have you ever seen? Because this guy is supposed to be 6 foot tall and of Southeast Asian descent, so he's not a curry muncher. He's a proper gook. And the last time I checked, yeah, there weren't too many 6-footers walking around.
Yeah, it's such a weird episode, but I'm willing to run with. Okay, you got it. Guess what? You won. Feminism won. You got it. Nobody cares about you anymore. Welcome to man's world, where nobody gives a shit about anybody.
So yeah, this is kind of like where you do get like fucking assholes like me blaming fucking victims and shit. When like okay, a 6 foot tall Vietnamese guy that was built like a brick shithouse. Okay, yeah, right. Yep. Sounds good so far. Right, continue. Came up to you and for no fucking reason. Okay, yep, rightio. Sounds believable. Rightio. Yeah. Like, the story doesn't fly.
Well, no. And I thought Asians respected children and the elderly a lot more than other cultures. That's kind of weird.
Well, I do usually.
I don't think that when they use the word Asian in London, it doesn't always mean actual Asian.
No. It says Southeast Asian descent. That's definitely Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, that area. That's the east part is the part that doesn't make it India.
Ah, gotcha. Any rate, moving on. New York restaurant serves gold-plated chicken wings. Nope, it's exactly what it says on the tin. Deep-fried chicken wings aren't considered a fancy gourmet meal, but one restaurant has come up with a way to raise the staple of fast food to luxury status by making gold-plated chicken wings. They dip the chicken wings in metallic gold sauce.
Yeah.
This is like this is our society deserves to be burned to the ground.
Yep, and Kim Kardashian actually eats stuff that fucking makes her shit come out glittery gold.
This is $60 for 20 wings.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy it with champagne for $1,000.
You know what? You'd to be the biggest fucking asshole on the planet, right? You get a tray of those things, and then you go and find a homeless dude, and you just fucking eat them in front of him. And would not even give him the scraps. You have to be the biggest fucking cunt on the planet to do something like that. It looks horrible too. I would not eat these. They look disgusting. But wow. It'd be bloody hilarious if you found out it was full of shit like bloody, it was like heaps bad toxic like DDT and fucking Agent Orange and all that kind of shit.
Oh, I'm my God. I mean, this is just New York City. This is where you go. If you're a progressive, you're like, oh, this is so progressive. These are just so progressive wings. Yes, these wings are wonderful.
I'm curious, is consuming a large amount of gold in your diet bad for you? I thought you can get metal.
Possibly.
Technically, gold doesn't react with anything. It's all the other. Yeah, it's the other. No, the gold itself is inert. It's the stuff that comes with gold that's the problem. Unfortunately, gold almost is never 99.99999% pure. It's usually got some serious contaminants that you wouldn't want to eat. And
I doubt whether they'd be using the pure shit in this stuff.
Well, we don't know how they're doing it, but still, oh my God,
that's not 24 carats though.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like I never drank Goldschlager all the time. I never thought that was a good idea because it has gold flakes in it. Like, that's cool every once in a while, but is that a good idea to drink all the time?
I used to drink that stuff when I was was doing mortgages. Yes, that's how much money I was making at the time. I was a colossal asshole back then, just so you know.
Well, when I was selling a large amount of what's now legal in Oregon, and it was legal then, I'm going with that. Marijuana, you know, I had enough money to buy that stuff all the time if I wanted, but no, I stuck with Southern Comfort and Jack Daniels.
Anyway, shall we move on?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Post-Gazette cartoonist fired as paper shifts right. This is what I was referring to earlier, where I think that we're starting to see a shift in newspapers, at least, where they're starting to go, hey, we can't get anybody to buy our papers. Maybe we should stop being social justice warrior assholes.
I don't know if it's that or it's just conservatives and libertarians who actually read anymore. I mean,
that may be the case.
Well, I'm sort of siding with your point there, Bob, on this one. These cartoons aren't all that great to begin with. I think they're just fighting because you was shit.
I'm looking at these examples and I'm just going, okay, you could take out Donald Trump and replace anybody. When you're going to make a political cartoon about something, it has to be done in a way that's funny and can't be interchangeable. Because you know when you're seeing something that's interchangeable, when you're seeing Mad Libs cartoons, and they're out there, you can tell where they just have a stock picture and they just kind of doodle in whatever they're targeting. I mean, maybe the NFL penalties one could be vaguely Trump-specific, but the problem is that I'm sitting there going, illegal use of free speech. How do you have illegal use of free speech?
Well, the drawing just below that one. If I was the owner of a company and someone under my employ went and slandered the president of the United States by calling him a child fucking predator, yeah, I'd sack the cunt too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's not making you any friends. And you're a newspaper. You kind of need to make friends because if people don't like you. God, the newspaper, you know, the only time I actually see the newspaper anymore is at my job. Because for some reason, New York State insists on every house getting the newspaper. And my other job that I'm currently at, they also insist on getting the newspaper at every work location for the clients. And I'm like going, except for the Sunday coupons, I don't really see any point to it.
It's not like they're reading.
Maybe I'm old school for being only 33, but I enjoy the newspaper. I like flipping through it and actually reading it. Now, that being said, I do not get the Register Guard, our local paper here. I use Google Newsstand on my Galaxy. I have an S5. So you just swipe all the way to the fucking right and the newspapers pop up. But I still enjoy a real newspaper.
No, I read the Daily Telegraph, which is the Sydney paper. And I don't pay much attention to what I'm being told. I just sort of, oh, yeah, that's happening. That's happening. Oh, they say that's happening. Oh, I heard about that on Live Leak 3 weeks ago. Yeah, comics and horoscopes pretty much. As long as I get that out of the road, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm going with you on this one, Jacob, that newspapers are dead. They've been replaced by TV, and TV is being replaced by the internet. It's just... I think they'll continue on. They're going to have their own little niche market. I think they're going to go the way of the penny saver. You know, that's like a newspaper that's nothing but advertisements, but it's given away for free because everybody gets to put in whatever they want into it.
Yeah, well, even people like Jeremy Clarkson are already coming out and saying that, you know, DVDs, like hard copies and, like, you know, watching it on scheduled TV and stuff like that, that's a thing of the past, and it's the main reason why they did go with Amazon, was because mainly people are getting their stuff through streaming sites or cable sites and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, fucking that's where they're moving on to. And, yeah, I think I've had a sook about the BBC doing this. Where they won't fucking release some of their shows overseas. They're claiming because of copyright, but when they're not releasing them over here, why can't I fucking watch it anyway? It's already been paid for. So that's why I do stream a lot of BBC stuff.
Gotcha. Any rate, shall we move on to the Pope?
Well, no, real quick, though,
Okay.
on the newspapers being a niche market, there is one newspaper that I was getting for a long time, a Civil War paper, and that was actually pretty cool. And I think you're right. It's going to be more of a niche market for stuff like that, a specialized paper in, like, something you're interested in, you know?
Well, moving on. Pope. Abortion is a white glove equivalent to Nazi crimes. I'm not bringing this up because it's anything spectacular or unusual for the Pope to be anti-abortion, other than this Pope hasn't been anti-abortion. This is like the strongest language I've heard out of our current Pope since he took office. It's pretty weird. Like this has been the social justice warrior of popes. He really has been. So to have him actually come out and saying that abortion is bad, I'm like, what? Did the aliens return the original Pope and they took away the duplicate or something? Any thoughts?
You notice how like they're going, oh yeah, abortion's bad. Let's just hope they don't ask about the kitty fiddling.
I don't think it's that, actually. I think what's going on is you see a pushback from the Pope that resigned and the cardinals that still back him, that are still within the Vatican. And they're like, dude, okay, you can go all fucking Venezuelan on us if you need to on some social issues. But when it comes to abortion, we won't back down. That is murder, and that is a sin. And I'm sorry, I tend to agree with them. Not just because I was raised Catholic, but because morally, I do believe taking a life is wrong. And if a baby inside the womb is not a life, then somebody who punches a pregnant woman in the stomach should get assault and not murder when the baby dies. But guess what they get? They get murder. Yet the mother can go ahead and kill the baby on a whim. It's quite fucking...
Yes, I have a problem with legal hypocrisy. It should be one way or the other, period, end of statement. I'm not saying which way it should be, because I think in a perfect, fair, and just world, there would never be abortion because we wouldn't need it. But, you know, I as a man, I don't know necessarily if I even have the right to make a position here. But that being said, all things said and done, yeah, it's hypocrisy when it's like you can charge somebody for murder for, you know, punching a woman in the belly and custody her baby, but she can go out and kill it herself. I'm waiting for the artificial wombs when we can finally be done with this once and for all.
There you go. And yeah, we can move on from the abortion topic. But yeah, that's how I see it. That's the best way I can make this stance without being completely biased, which I am even though I'm no longer religious, I still believe in that aspect. And when it comes to the fact that one of my children were told, hey, he has spina bifida, you can abort him and keep the other twin, and we chose not to kill him, you know, I am kind of sore on the abortion issue. I do take a hard stand on it.
Understand. At any rate, moving on. Russia's psychic cat Achilles picks home team for World Cup opener. I'm just looking at this picture of this psychic cat, and I'm just going, I think the title says it all. I have no idea. I don't know why Russians think this cat has psychic powers or how it even talks, but apparently the cat can, by choosing from 2 bowls of food, decide who's going to win.
Now, they're all pissed off their nanas from fucking too much bloody vodka, and they're just hallucinating the cat's fucking doing it. All everybody is doing is they're just, yeah, of course Russia's going to win. They're fresh out of the gates with all the drugs fresh in their system. Of course they're going to win.
Soccer's a girl sport. My only comment.
Yeah, I'm with you right there.
I hate soccer. I really fucking
It is
do.
so boring.
It is so boring.
It is such a boring game. I don't know why anybody likes it. I'm sorry.
You know what we actually call soccer in Australia?
Football.
No, it's because the Americans that call it football. It's we call it wog ball because it's mainly European countries that play it.
I like that. Walk ball. That's pretty accurate. I'm going to use that from
Yeah.
now on. It is walk ball.
No, WOG, W-O-G.
What's wog mean?
WOG. It's a basically it's a slang term for someone who's like European, mainly like your Greeks and Italians and stuff like that. It came about because during the 50s and stuff that we had a big fucking immigration thing from Greece and Italy.
I know what the reference is now. I get it. I like walk ball myself, but wog ball I can do with that too. Anyway, moving on.
Well, if you said walk ball, everyone would think you were trying to use a fucking big frying pan or something.
Different kind of walk, but close. It's the walk ball. It's walk ball. Stir fry walk ball.
And then you're going to have some cunt with a speech impediment coming up saying, "Are you making fun of the way I speak? Walk ball."
Meanwhile, we're done mangling this sport. Nobody likes it. Go away, soccer. Nobody likes you. Anyway, Saudi Arabia's fashion show causes stir online after replacing the female models with drones. Yes, indeed. In order to make sure that they didn't have any women wearing the women's clothing as a model because we didn't want to see things that might be offensive to Sauds, they flew the clothes out down the walkway with drones.
Yep.
Wait. Are you sure that the models weren't attached to the drones? They were just so anorexic you couldn't see them?
That is a possibility. And what is going on? The damn things. I can't undo this thing. Damn it. Oh well, I lost I lost my page thing. Anyway, but yeah, no, I mean there was a video and stuff.
Yeah, that's a funny, typical sort of like, fuck you to feminist kind of thing. Oh, you want to have women's rights? Oh, okay, yes, we'll let you be models now. Well, we're now going to not have models. We're now going to use drones. So yes, you models, we don't need you anymore. Yeah, there's
At
your
least they
body.
could drive their asses home. They legalized women driving.
Well, they had to make it Ramadan appropriate. So, but I love the way somebody called it. It looked like the Dementors from Harry Potter were having a fashion show. Where did they get the models? Hogwarts? Oh my God, this is amazing.
The funniest part is I was going to ask you about that because you do the fashion police, and I had seen this story, and I was going to ask you, and then you brought it up, so that's great.
I mean, the fashions themselves aren't that bad. It's not like there's horrible dresses. It's just that drones. That's a nice touch, you know. Wow, it's a dress flying on a hanger. That really gives me an impression as how it's going to look on me.
You know what would have been even funnier though is if on the drones themselves, they're a little sticker saying "courtesy of Barack Obama."
Oh, nice. Don't drone me, bro. Flying behind it.
Don't drone me, bro.
Love and hugs, Barack Obama.
Okay. Moving on to China. Seafood rains over Chinese city after powerful storm sends marine creatures flying. And yes, indeed, it's not every day you see octopuses, starfish, and prawns literally draining down from the sky. That's exactly what happened Wednesday at the Chinese coastal city of Qingdao after strong winds sucked the marine creatures from the sea. There's still creatures in the sea? I thought we fished them to death.
No, I'm wondering if this is Revelations. I'm going to be a Christian again.
I love this picture of an octopus on this guy's window from the inside. It's, you know, those things that you throw against the wall and they're kind of sticky and they kind of tumble down. That's what it looks like.
I'm actually cheering that you actually said the fucking word prawn instead of shrimp.
Well, there's prawns and then there's shrimp. Aren't they two different things?
Yeah, prawn are much bigger.
Things. Yeah, they are two different things, and we don't put shrimp on the barbie out here. We never do. We never have, because we don't have fucking shrimp here. We got prawns, though.
My God, this guy's this one picture from the inside. His windshield wipers are removing prawns from his windshield.
They just reach out, grab it, fucking eat the bastard.
Well, don't they eat their fish raw in China or something, or is that Japan? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's Japan, but no, you can't eat prawns raw. You just got to watch out where you get them from, but.
Yeah, well, I guess this changes the old phrasing.
Obviously.
It's raining cats and dogs. It's raining prawns and squid. That's the Chinese version.
Well, either way, it's all fucking food to them.
Well, no, and once again, I just want to bring up Revelations. I mean, that's kind of weird. Fucking, wasn't there red rain a couple years back somewhere? Fucking,
Oh yeah.
all sorts of weird
Yeah, no,
shit.
but
Oh, I got more of your revelations right here.
Scientific explanation.
I got more revelations.
There is scientific explanations for those. The raining animals thing.
Well, there were scientific explanations for all the Moses's plagues. I mean, they all have scientific reasons. I'm just saying they were predicted, kind of, which is weird. I'm not saying it's true. I'm still an atheist. I'm just saying it's kind of weird.
Well, it's kind of like with an event like that does happen sort of so kind of often, meaning like often as in like how many times you sit down and have a baked dinner with your parents kind of often. It's, yeah, you can sort of just go, yeah, in some time in the next 10 years it's going to rain fish somewhere, and you're bound to be right.
At any rate, speaking of weird, Thai restaurant finds success with screaming hot waiters. As in, they are actually screaming waiters. They have a team of hot male waiters dressed in skimpy female garb who scream like damsels in distress as they serve patrons as their way to success. And this is in Bangkok, Thailand. So
Thailand, yeah.
Thailand.
You guys ever had any Thai food? Have you guys ever had Thai food?
Nope.
Well, I know how they're making these guys scream, because Thai food is fucking spicy. So they got these guys running around in these shoeless knickers. They're giving them a fucking tickle on the balls with their spicy bloody hands. That's why they're screaming.
I just assumed it was because if you're a pedophile, you go to Thailand. You know, I just thought that was all just catering to the target demographic. You know.
Well, it's either the little kiddies you go to Thailand for, or to get your dick chopped off.
That's true. They do that too.
Cheap cut and tuck.
I don't know if you really want to go with the lowest bidder on that one.
What's a kidney or two between friends?
Well.
Well, no, yeah. You hear a lot of weird stories coming out of Thailand. I wouldn't really be going there anyway. That's, no.
Only if you want your kidney stolen.
Nah, it's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be.
Anyway.
It's kind of like going to India. You can't get a fucking Big Mac and they're shitting on the street. No, thank you. I'll pass.
Yeah, and their food looks like the same shit that's in the street too.
Wouldn't know. I don't eat that. At any rate, from Tasmania, a 73-year-old Australian artist, Mike Parr, is spending 3 days in a steel box that has been buried beneath a busy road. As traffic passes overhead, he will spend his time meditating, drawing, fasting, and reading Robert Hughes' The Fatal Shore.
Yeah, inbreeding will do that to you.
Why?
Well,
You're the Australian. Explain this to me.
Yeah, because he's from Tasmania. He's fucking inbred. Like there's only a certain amount of people on that island, and there's only a certain amount of fucking people you can go through in 200 years before you start rooting your fucking uncle. Yeah, they're all fucking inbred down there, and yeah, they do stupid shit like this.
Okay, just wanted to know because this made no sense.
Is that a good book?
It doesn't make any sense to anybody who's normal, but if you're a backward country bumpkin inbred, yeah, you definitely get this. Oh yeah, this is shit I'd do on the weekend. Yeah.
Okay, Venezuelan crude oil output careens towards 1 billion. No, it's not careening upward to 1 million barrels. It's going downward towards 1 million barrels. Venezuela's pretty much about to reach a cliff, and their oil output's about to drop through the floor. They've only got 20 rigs left. And all of their legitimate employees who actually could do the job like freaking left the country. And yeah, pretty soon you're going to see them completely bottom out.
You probably find that most of those technicians were all fucking foreign employees anyways.
Well, yeah, I mean, first off, socialism works, guys. I mean, take a look at Venezuela. It totally works. It's totally fine. Nothing to see here. Move along.
Pretty much, yeah. Dear God, I mean, they're eating their zoo animals at this point. So, but I just wanted to make a note that it's looking like we've been predicting the end of Venezuela for a while, but yeah, what little Venezuela had going for it was what little of their oil they could sell, and now that's hemorrhaging. I mean, this is going to be really bad. This is going to be terrible.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And on a serious note, look at what's going on in Brazil. I have a friend, Kitty. She came on the Red Eye stream, and she talked a little bit about the Brazilian strike with the truckers, where they locked down the whole fucking country. So Brazil is having issues also, and I know Brazil is separated by a thin border with Venezuela. But, I mean, where exactly do you think all these Venezuelan refugees are going to end up? They're gonna filter towards Brazil, which has roughly the best economy in the fucking region, which is still shit. But, I mean, it's looking bad for the whole region. And I don't think the United States should intervene in any fucking way. God forbid. I really don't want that. You guys know me. No way. But who's going to intervene? Somebody's going to have to, or they're going to eat each other. Shit's going to get real rough real quick.
I like to be a little bit optimistic and think that if it just gets bad enough and nobody comes to save their ass, they might actually try to fix it themselves. That's my hope. My hope is, see, the problem is Venezuela is being propped up by the EU right now. I wish those assholes would stop giving them money. Just let them fail. Let it collapse. It's going to suck. There's going to be a lot of suffering, but the sooner you rip off the Band-Aid, the better at this point. Because until they reach rock bottom, they're not going to start fixing things.
Wait, when they killed their only lion, they weren't at rock bottom?
No, they're not rock bottom yet because they're still getting money from the EU. As long as they're getting some sort of
people yet.
Yeah, they haven't started eating people yet, but if we stopped giving them money, they probably would hit rock bottom and say, my God, nobody's coming to save us. I guess we'll have to do it ourselves. But that's not going to happen. You know, it's not, because as long as the EU exists, they're going to continue to try to poison the rest of the planet. At any rate,
I don't know why the EU is loaning a bunch of money to a South American country.
They need training.
Because they're communist and they're trying to help other commies.
What happened to Monroe Doctrine? Stay out of the Western Hemisphere, European countries.
I believe Obama wiped his ass with it.
Fair enough. You can go ahead and move on. I know you wanted to.
Hold on one second. I'm trying to bring up this next file and I can't seem to.
Okay, well, while you brought it up. Never mind.
Okay, I got it. I found it. Okay. Last article.
New European. Yeah. New European data protection law. We need your consent before you use our website. Oh, that's gone now. Okay. There we go. All right.
Why Can't We Hate Men? By Susanna Danuta Walters. Wow.
I thought they already were. I mean, like Diesel Dykes and all that kind of shit been saying they hate men for fucking ages.
This is a professional. I'm going to read this. A professor of sociology and director of the Women's Gender and Sexual Studies program at Northeastern University. So this is an actual professor writing this, and I'm going to just sum it up for you. She makes a honest to goodness argument for why all women should hate all men. Let that sink in. That she actually wants flat out war between men and women. I like this article because it's nice to see somebody who's a feminist and not lying for a change. She goes on about all the usual BS, wage inequality, women are underrepresented, fire rates, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we could go over this, but this is a prat. It's a point refuted 1,000 times. Okay? Everything that she's bringing up has been refuted 1,000 times. Every single bitch, every moan, every complain, 1,000 times. So there's no point in going over her points, but the thing that gets me about this article is that it's the brazenness of it. You know, the fact that she is basically flat out saying, yeah, men, if you're with us and would like us to not hate you for all the millennia of woe that you have produced and benefited from, really, I'm responsible for the sins of my father. I didn't know that. Start with this. Lean out so we can actually just stand up without being beaten down. I'm sorry, I get beaten down all the time. So if you want to be equal with a man, it comes with the beatings. Pledge to vote for feminist women only because vagina. Don't run for office because, you know, we couldn't possibly compete with men. Don't be in charge of anything because, you know, if you abdicate from your responsibility, all those women will love to step up and do your work for you. Step away from the power because power is such a good thing and power doesn't like make you miserable. We've got this. No, you don't. You do. And you're not even going to get it yourself because you're a professor of sociology. You've got the cushiest fucking job on the planet and you're just going to sit there and like judge and tell everybody else what to do when you do nothing yourself. We have every right to hate you. Really? Well, guess what? You don't speak for all women. You just speak for yourself. But I'm more than willing to return the favor and hate you back. You have done us wrong. Ditto. Hashtag because patriarchy, prove it exists. It's a long past time to play hard for team feminism and win. You won. You got what you wanted. You've succeeded. You're past third wave and you're on to fourth wave now where you're just a bunch of whining cunts. That's my little rant. How about you guys?
Well, I think you pretty much covered all the bases there. Good job. I do believe, though, when it comes to feminism, the one main umbrage I take with them is that they act like the Western society is so fucking poisonous. No, it ain't, cunt. It ain't. How about you go help people in Saudi Arabia, Qatar? How about you go to Iraq? How about Afghanistan? You want to go chill in a poppy field and tell the women to take off their fucking burqas? Go handle that shit. And then you can bitch. Because right now, you got the movies. You fucked up my Ghostbusters. You fucked up Oceans. You know, like, fuck off. You won. You won.
Yeah,
you
Oceans. That was... Oh, that was boring.
Well, I liked Ocean's 11, man. It was a good fucking flick. And, you know, they fucked it up with this Ocean's 8 shit, as far as I'm concerned. Sandra Bullock can hold her own, and she was an original, but who's the rest of these bitches?
Isn't bloody fucking what's that fucking stupid bimbo? Was married to Tom Cruise. Was it Nicole Kidman? Wasn't she in that as well? Or am I thinking of someone else?
I don't think Nicole Kidman's in the new one. Maybe though.
I have no idea. To be perfectly honest, I couldn't even be bothered to watch the reviews.
Yeah, I passed the point of giving a shit when Dodge said "oh" in Oceans.
Yeah, it looks... See, the thing is, though, I think they kind of sort of got the message from Ghostbusters and didn't try to be so over-the-top feminist. But the problem is that they didn't make a movie with women. You could have replaced the women from everything... What little I've seen, you could replace all the women with men and it'd be exactly the same. See, this is the problem. This is the problem with the political cartoons. They're completely interchangeable. You could have put anybody's picture in there and it would have been the exact same message. Okay? When you're playing Mad Libs with your movies, it isn't interesting. Nobody likes Mad Libs. Okay? They keep... Every time I go to the grocery store and I go through that aisle that says, this is for children because this has no candy. What do they got? They got this goddamn Mad Libs book. And I'm just sitting there and going, the only reason these things sell is because instead of having candy for kids, they have these books for kids that have like pictures of the Incredibles on it and some other Disney shit. And then they buy it and then the kids like look at it and they don't actually read anything in there. When was the last time anybody actually did Mad Libs? No, it just sits there and rots on the shelf. And if your movie looks like a Mad Lib, where you're just interchanging, you know, man for woman, it doesn't work. It's boring as shit.
There was one thing about the brief amount of shit that I heard about the Ocean's 8 movies, that some fucking idiot went and said as an absolute fact that this is like the first fucking female caper movie. type deal. I'm thinking, no, back in the 90s, there was this one where a whole bunch of fucking cheerleaders wanted to go rob a bank because one was pregnant and they'd have an abortion or something like that. That was a caper movie. They've already done it. So yeah.
There was this great one. It had 4 black women who were screwed, and one of the women was, a cashier, and somebody she knew showed up to rob the bank, and she knew the guy, and she tried to talk him out of it. And because she tried to talk out of it, they fired her. Okay? Yeah, awfully, SJW-ish. But you know what it did? She then turned around and said, you know what? I know how banks work. Let's rob a bank. So you had these caper women, except that it had a perfectly logical conclusion, which was it started to go south. They acted like real human beings, and like they had doubts, and they were suddenly all on this power kick until one of their members got like beat up by a boyfriend. So the rest of them all showed up to show the boyfriend what for, and they accidentally killed the guy. And then they all went, holy fuck, holy fuck. It was real. It was visceral. And I was watching this and going, I believe that this is happening. It was a great caper movie with a miserable ending, but it was a great lesson. It was one of those movies where like, I genuinely cared when these people died. I genuinely cared when only one of them got away and the other 2 like basically, went down guns a-blazing. I actually gave a shit. This movie, from what little I have seen, I'm like going, I don't care. I don't even hate you.
And then also too with that as well, it's kind of like it's a formula. Let me guess. Just like the other Oceans movies, there's one who's a ringleader, and the others are all fucking bit players that have got their own little specialties, and they all come together somehow, and then they rip off some fucking joint, and then they all get away. Let me guess. Is that it? Something like that, except from what little I have seen. Because I'm trusting somebody else's opinion because I'm not going to go see it. Where he said, basically, Ocean's 11 had this convoluted story and plot line that used the bad guys' own flaws against him. This movie apparently was just hi, we're going to steal some shit. So, and apparently the end, no men on my team. Apparently, they got a man at the end to help with some of the heavy lifting. Yeah, typical. But I mean, like at the end, it's going to be pretty bloody predictable. I mean, they'll get away at the end, so there's no real conflict in the characters or anything like that. There's no drama or fucking what's that shit that
pathos.
Oh, yeah, sort of like that. Yeah, but you don't really care for the characters because they're going to get away at the end. You already know the ending. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
From that caper with those 4 black women robbing banks, I will say this. I had no idea it was going to end. I didn't. I did not. I was genuinely surprised. The Ocean's 8, it's like, okay, they're all going to win. There's going to be a moment where, oh no, they're almost going to fail, but it's going to turn out to actually be a good thing in the end. And then you're going to think they failed, but then actually it's a trick and they're all getting on the planes and walking away.
And of course, because the bloody studios are so desperately trying to start up a female franchise, all of their own little lonesome, and they need to have an Ocean's 9 just so their poor little hearts don't turn into assholes.
Oh, well, any thoughts, Dodge?
Yeah, actually, it's not really with Ocean's 8, but real quick, though, bringing up movies, McIntyre Murphy died today. And if you've ever seen the Blues Brothers, then you would know who he is. And that really sucks. And that's a big loss to the blues community. And, it's another member of the band down. And I love Blues Brothers. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm a little upset about that.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think he was pretty good. Huh.
Yeah, no, he was in the band, McIntyre Murphy, Donald Duck Dunn. Yeah, I mean, it sucks, man. Another Blues Brothers down, joining Belushi on the stage.
Oh, well, that is a tragedy.
But I gotta lay my daughter down real quick. I'll be right back, though. So.
Oh, actually, we were gonna wrap things up here. This is the last article.
Oh, okay, then, yeah, thank you for having me on once again, sir.
No, it's been real. It's been fun. I think it's been kind of fun. I think we're starting to see things turning around on a planetary scale here, but we've got a long road ahead of us. So, and by the way, thanks for pointing out the whole streaming thing for Gab TV. I'm definitely going to look into that. So if we do switch over, I will let everybody know. Any last words or comments before we wrap things up?
Yeah, as always, taxation and stuff.
And make sure to check out the Red Eye stream because that's where Dodge usually hangs out. Any last words, Farty?
Boobies.